snack has played a huge part in my training camp. The protein, the ZMA, everything, the pre-workout, it's played such a major part in my training camp, keeping me healthy, keeping me recovered, keeping me feeling good, strong, and ready for my next workout.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Bearing the cold, at least it's cold for my California blood. I'm Christina Poncher, and welcome to the special press conference for our ESPN triple header going down right here from Madison Square Garden on Saturday night, immediately following the 2019 Heisman Trophy presentation. It's going to be a fantastic night of boxing. Top Rank has always brought a good show here to Madison Square Garden, and Saturday night will be no different. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick thank you to our sponsors for this fight, Geico Insurance and also Allegiant Airlines. So thank you for being a part of this spectacular promotion. And as you know, you see their faces on the posters behind me. Headlining Saturday night will be pound-for-pound great Terence "Bud" Crawford. He will once again be defending his title, his WBO welterweight world title, against mandatory challenger Igis Mean Machine Kavaliauskas. IBF lightweight world champion Richard Commey is set to defend his title for the second time against Brooklyn native Teofimo the Takeover Lopez. And many feel that that will be the fight of the night. I know these guys are looking forward to putting on a show. And then in a 10-round featherweight special attraction, Irish sensation, and he's pretty much become a New York fan favorite, Michael Conlan will battle unbeaten Russian Vladimir Nikitin in a rematch of their highly controversial 2016 Olympic bout, which I'm sure Bob will get to in a little bit. This great triple header, as I mentioned, is broadcasted on ESPN and ESPN Deportes starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Select tickets are available if you can get down here to the Madison Square Garden box office or online or by phone at Ticketmaster. There's some tickets starting as low as under $100 for Saturday night. As always, we have a undercard streaming live for you. It is a stacked undercard on ESPN Plus. That's going to get started at 5:45 p.m. and it features some really great talent, especially some great local talent here from the tri-state area. You have Julian Hammerhand Rodriguez, talented 140-pounder, Brooklyn's own knockout artist, 14-0, 14 knockouts, Edgar Berlanga. Josue Vargas is 15-1 from the Bronx. He's on this card as well. And also George Kambosos Jr. of Sydney, Australia is taking on former lightweight world champ Mickey Bay. So, Bob, before we get to talking about the triple header, as I mentioned, the undercard, I mean, you said this top to bottom is one of the best cards of the year. We've got a lot of young and local talent on the card. People should get here early come Saturday night. Why?
Yeah, I mean, you know, boxing should be like other sports. People who are paying money for tickets to watch the event should come at the beginning. I mean, we have so many good fights that people can watch streaming. But if you're coming to the arena, come early. Come when the doors open so you can watch some of these great, great young men who will be fighting on the undercard. I mean, this is a pitch not for any more money from anybody, not buy tickets if you're not going to buy tickets, but if you bought tickets and you're going to buy tickets, watch the whole show. It's worthwhile.
When you talk about the triple header that we've put in on the night of the Heisman, Teofimo's fought on that night before. It just brings a broader audience. And for these guys right here, I mean, like you said, there's no pitch to sell it because these are great matched fights, particularly the Commey and Teofimo Lopez fight. What are your thoughts on our triple header?
Well, they're all good fights. They're all good fights. I mean, the Teofimo Commey fight, the bookmakers have made it a 50-50 fight, so that's obviously of great interest. And the other two fights are not walkovers. They're tough, tough matches. I mean, Terence is worth the price of admission by himself. He is, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, and everybody will have an opportunity to watch him fighting a very, very tough Lithuanian in Kavaliauskas, who has fought for us for many years and is a tough, tough Eastern European fighter. Mick Conlan gets his chance for revenge. You all know the story when most people thought that he had won his fight in the Olympics, and Nikitin was given the nod. Now they have a chance in professional boxing for a revenge, for a rematch, and that will be of interest to fans all over the world. So it's a great, great show. It really is. I'm very proud of it, as is everybody at Top Rank. And it's great that we're doing an event like this in the Big Apple.
Before we get to talking to the fighters, I wanted to say happy belated birthday to you, Bob Arum.
And what about Carl?
I was going to say, and yes, today's Carl Moretti's birthday, our vice president. So happy birthday, Carl. You do so much for these guys. We appreciate you. You want to sing, Bob? You want to sing happy birthday to Carl?
Happy birthday, Carl. I'm
That's
not,
it.
I'm not a
No
singer.
Sinatra voice going on. All right, we'll get to talking to the fighters now, and let's start with that controversial bout. I mean, both of these guys, Bob, probably part of the reason you signed, also Nikitin, was knowing that we wanted to make this rematch in the pros. It comes just 3 fights in for Vladimir Nikitin, and Igis, thank you for translating for Vladimir. How important was it for him to take this fight knowing that although he won the controversial decision in Rio, does he feel like this is a good opportunity for him to kind of silence the doubters and silence the critics and move on from here, cementing his win?
Как важно для тебя был этот бой, зная о том, что ты уверен был, что ты выиграл эти 2 боя у него до этого, и сейчас как бы доказать это все в профессиональном ринге, как это для тебя важно было?
Мне никому ничего доказывать не надо, я выиграл те 2 боя, и сейчас это чисто уже новая страница, и это только бой для моей дальнейшей профессиональной карьеры.
I don't have to prove to anybody anything. I won 2 bouts against him in the amateurs, and right now this is just another big step for my professional career.
Yeah, what does it mean to him in only 3 professional fights in his 4th now to get to fight on a big stage and a big card like this here at Madison Square Garden?
Что для тебя значит твой только 4-й профессиональный бой и боксировать на такой большой арене?
Я уже боксировал и в прошлый раз здесь, в Madison Square Garden. Для меня это как в плане того, что это большой бой. Вправду я понимаю, что этот бой очень высоко может меня поднять в дальнейшем плане карьеры. А так я настраиваюсь так же, как и на любой следующий бой.
I already fought. My last fight was here at the Madison Square Garden. I've been in the arena, so I just stepping in to my next steps into my professional career.
So yeah, no difference, the magnitude of this card
yes,
for him.
he says I'm preparing for every
course, it
single
doesn't matter
fight. Yeah, doesn't really matter.
Lastly, what's it going to take for him to win Saturday night, kind of just put this storyline behind him and move on to the next chapter of his professional career?
Как ты представляешь вот этот бой, как он состоится, чтобы тебе пройти на следующий уже бой? Как ты составляешь протяжение вот этого боя? Как ты представляешь себе?
В принципе, мы готовы на все 10 раундов, но будем уже, нельзя так представить бой. Будем представлять в субботу, как пойдет. Будем работать от соперника.
I'm ready for 10 rounds, and we're just gonna see what's gonna happen in the ring. We're gonna see what we're both gonna bring into the ring.
All right, we are going to see. That's the opening bout, him against Michael Conlan. And Michael, similar to what your opponent said, he really doesn't feel like he has anything to prove or anything to back up from that Olympic bout. But for you, you have redemption on your shirt all week. It's kind of been the theme for you. Not because I don't feel like you have something to prove, but it's more about just, kind of getting that redemption and then moving on. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's what it is. This is straight business for me. There's no personal or emotional attachment to it. Vladimir, obviously, he beat me in 2013 when I moved up to bantamweight. 2016, he got the decision, and he knows deep down he needs to prove something because his career is always going to be remembered for, losing to me in the Olympics. So he's got to come and prove something Saturday night. I don't believe he will. I've prepared fully, and I've been training for 14 or 13 weeks for this camp, so I'm ready for anything Saturday night.
Yeah, 13 to 14 weeks too is a long time, but that's because this fight was originally slated to happen with him back in August in Falls Park, and then he tears his bicep and it gets moved to now. But look, now you get an opportunity to close out the year, close out this chapter in a place that's become like a second home to you in Madison Square Garden. What does it mean for you once again to be back here, especially for this chapter?
Yeah, it's sorry, it's very fitting for me to be boxing here, having this rematch in MSG as. You know, this is where I restarted my boxing career after the Olympics, and this is where I'll close the chapter on the Olympics, and we'll get to put everything in the past, and we'll have to stop talking about them because I'm fed up of it. I just want to take care of business and move on. But I want to say thanks to Joel and Sal and Bill and Joanne for, you know, always looking after me when I'm here too.
So after this, Bobby's like, no more middle fingers. He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe for Conlan, that means this next year he moves on to getting an opportunity to become a contender and possibly fight for a world title and maybe fight again back in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the second dream that Mick had when we signed him, is that he would be fighting for a world title and hopefully back in Belfast, and we're going to try to make that happen. We can't obviously determine what happens in the ring. That's up to Mick, but assuming that he does win, and we're going to have him come back to New York for the St. Patrick's Day celebration, and then on to a world title, hopefully in Belfast.
Sounds good, right?
It sounds fantastic, but
First things first.
I'm fully
You have a
focused on
tough-
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Don't. I haven't underestimated
100%,
Vladimir
yeah.
Nikitin at all, so I'm focused there.
All right, we're looking forward to it with your Rocky look today.
Rocky 4, if you're all wondering, yes, it's Rocky 4 when I'm in Russia. I'm fighting the
Nobody of you
Russian,
peep
so
game
you
on
know, I
that,
have to go for it.
I was like, not the suit today, huh? Now to our first world title fight of the night. It will be the second fight on the ESPN broadcast on Saturday night. 12 rounds lightweight contest, the IBF world title. We'll start with the challenger, Teofimo Lopez. I mean, we've covered your career, prospect, contender, now challenger. Just 22 years old, 14-0, 11 knockouts, and you're days away from your first world title opportunity. I know it's a dream come true for you to first be in this position and fight here at, you know, Madison Square Garden. If you could kind of put into words what these last few days have been like as you kind of have built up the anticipation for Saturday.
How's everybody doing? First and foremost, I want to thank God always, because without him, I wouldn't be able to go through this journey the way I did. And it's a blessing. It's a breathtaking moment. And it's something that I definitely got to sit back and just visualize and look at and just know that 22 years old, I have a great opportunity here to do a lot, you know, and I'm excited, man. And what better way to finish off the year than fighting in the mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, for my first world title in New York. You know what I mean? Like, this is a moment right here.
It's stuff that dreams are made of, for sure. And
Turning my dreams into reality, that's the thing.
I can understand that completely. You've had a lot of supporters, Teofimo, but you've had a lot of critics and doubters as well. More so coming out of the woodworks after your last fight, which, you know, you face a little bit of adversity, and it's like, oh, he is human. Oh, things do happen. What does Saturday night's fight give you the chance to do?
I think everybody needs something like that, you know, just to show, you know, I needed that. Everything happens for a reason. That's what I look at. And I take everything that they try to throw at me negative into positive. I turn that, you know, you can't face me. You can't bring me down. You know, I'm here for a reason. Teofimo is doing what he's doing come Saturday night, like every night. You know, we're going to go out there and take over. I mean, everybody, I have vengeance in me. I'm holding all that, holding everything. I want to shut everybody up as the best way I can. And that's just doing what I know, what I can do best.
You don't always predict knockouts in your fight, but your father does. He has no problem saying it, and you have 11 of them in your 14 fight career, so he's right most of the time. He said the same thing is going to happen come Saturday night. With all due respect to Richard Commey, he says this fight's not going the distance. With that being said, and I know you're constantly defending your father's words, but from your mouth, what is it going to take for you, from you on Saturday night to hear the words "and new IBF lightweight world champion"?
God didn't bring me to this point just for nothing, man. He ain't take me this far for nothing. I ain't come out here just to talk my smack and not back it up. I mean, we're going to do what we have to do. Richard Commey is a 2-time world champion for a reason, and we know that it's going to be a great and exciting fight. Everybody's definitely tuning into this one, along with with Mick Conlan and Nikitin, and also the main event. So, I mean, you got triple headers right here, and this is a great and exciting show, great fight. And come Saturday night, I mean, 9 weeks in camp for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, we well prepared for this fight, mentally and physically. And I'm just excited, man. It's a blessing on blessing. Y para todos los hondureños, yo voy a ser el primero para ganar un título mundial. So I think to everybody and all the Latin people out there, man, tune in for sure. Teofimo, the takeover, man. I want to get everybody excited, man. Why am I the only one excited?
It's cold.
Why?
I guess he could be a promoter too one day, right? I don't need to say anything else about that. Just tune in. And before we get to Richard Commey, I'd like to thank Develop Promotions and Lou DeBella. I think I saw Lou here somewhere. Hey, Lou. Thank you for being a part of this promotion and for the champ being able to give Teofimo Lopez a shot at this. And for you, Richard Commey, I mean, we talked earlier, 2019 has just been a magical year for you. You burst on the scene in February in Frisco, Texas with a spectacular knockout. Then you go and defend the title, multiple knockdowns against former world champion Ray Beltran. Could you sum up what this last year has been like for you?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank God for this very moment. I thank God for the life of everyone and for the life of all the media guys. And, you know, it is what it is. God brought us here for a reason. And I thank God 2019 has been a great year. I worked so hard coming from Ghana. You know how it is to get you this stage, man. It's just an amazing feeling. And you need to have God, you need to have a great spirit just to be where I am today. So I thank God and I thank all of you guys.
I don't really know how it is coming from there, but I can only imagine everything that you've gone through to get you to this point. How has, where you've come from, how has the team that you have behind you, Uncle Dre over there, helped motivate you and get you to be at the best point where you'll need to be against Teofimo Lopez on Saturday?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I never underrate any boxer, and, you know, I always train hard, you know. I just do my thing, you know, I just train, and then listen to them, and, you know, just live a simple life. I don't talk too much, and just be me. That's it.
You know about the history of boxing. You know about Madison Square Garden, the mecca of boxing. What does it mean for you to get to defend your title here? I know you have a big smile on your face every time we talk about it.
Yeah, words cannot even explain that. You know, how many boxers has come from Ghana to had a chance to fight in there? I mean, co-main event, no. So, you know, I thank God for this opportunity, man. And I thank Top Rank, and I thank everyone who's helped me to get this far. Man, God bless us, and I'm ready to retain my title. There's no way I'm going to let it go. No way.
Bob, you hear these guys talking, and you said matchmakers have it a 50-50 fight. Both guys also know the implications that are on the line if they win. I think a special guest is going to be in attendance watching these two fight on Saturday night. His manager's maybe sitting right here in the front row.
Yeah, some young man who happens to have 3 of the lightweight titles and is looking to fight for a 4th will be on hand. He's coming in on Friday to watch this match. Vasil Lomachenko will be here, and there's a lot at stake in this Lopez fight with Commey. Both great fighters. I didn't know Richard before this year, but he is a tremendous fighter, as is Teofimo. So there'll be one really interested onlooker, and that's Lomachenko, who is coming in with his father, so they'll be here on Friday.
Right, a lot on the line, and maybe none more so on the line than for the 2 fighters in our main event. I'm going to start now with the mandatory challenger, Egidius Mean Machine Kavalauskas. It took me a few years to get that right. Most of you can just call him Egis. He's fine with that. Before we get to any questions, I just want to congratulate you on Egis is going to be a father in February. He's expecting a little boy, so congratulations to you, your first child. talk about any extra motivation you may need to get ready for a world title. But you and Marcos and the team have worked many, many years to get this chance. It's a chance of a lifetime for you, not only to fight for a world title, but against pound for pound the best fighter in the world. What has kind of been going through your mind as you mentally prepare for this opportunity?
So, hey everybody. Crawford was in my mindset already from June. We start training camp in June, so it was 5-6 months. So every day was just Crawford, Crawford, Crawford. So my mindset is good. I'm happy for this fight. When this fight met officially, I was super happy all day. I was all day smiling. My joy was just everywhere because I want to fight the best, and we're fighting in the mecca of boxing, so it's double the joy.
And when you say 5-6 months in training camp, everyone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily like you've been sparring for 5 or 6 months to get ready. It take a little bit through your physical preparation.
Yeah, so we're starting from June, but we're starting light. We don't push it a lot, but still all the tactics, everything was about how Crawford fights, which stances. So yeah, in sparring we was having lots of guys, southpaws, orthodox, guys who switch stances. And the training camp was in different periods. There was speed, power, sparring, technique, tactic, all was in this 5-6 months.
And I know when people probably look at your tape and they look at your highlight reel, they see a guy that comes forward, that's wild, he's aggressive, he gets cut sometimes in fights.
I like it.
You like it, I know you do. So, but there's things that you and Marcos have worked on kind of to tighten up some of those things, because you do have a great jab as well. You work well off the jab. You throw it a lot. I think 41% of your punches are jabs. So just talk a little bit about technically what needs to happen in order to beat Crawford.
Yeah, going straight ahead to Crawford is not the option because he's too smart, and he's showing all his last fights that he's smart, and he's smart in the ring. So yeah, we work on my combinations, and we don't want to go very wild at him. So that's it.
I asked everybody else, and I'll ask you as well, what would it mean for you to hear them say, and new WBO welterweight champion of the world, to your family, to Lithuania?
This is probably gonna be the biggest thing for my career, for all the Lithuanian boxing history, because none of our champion was from Lithuania fighting. Even none of us was fighting for the championship. So yeah, this is the biggest deal in my whole boxing career.
Thank you, Mean Machine. We're looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it. Bomac.
Oh shit, Bo.
All right. Before.
Sounded like my father.
All right. All right. Before Christina introduces the champion, I just want to. I looked around on the stage here, and look what a worldwide thing boxing is. We have a fighter here, a pride of Ireland, a fighter here, the pride of Russia, a fighter here, the pride of Ghana, a fighter here who was on the Olympic team from Honduras, and a fighter here from Lithuania. And now Christina will introduce the real American from the Midwest, the town of Omaha, Nebraska.
Terence Bud Crawford. All right, go ahead, clap for him. That's fine. He's the champ. He earned all that applause. Bud, for you, I mean, big smile on your face. You know everything that's on the line come Saturday night, but it's got to up the ante a little bit more when you're fighting in a main event, ESPN, a great card, and it's at Madison Square Garden. You fought here before, but doesn't it mean a little something extra to you when you get to fight on this big stage, especially with the Heisman Trophy lead-in coming into your broadcast?
Well, actually, I'm starting to get used to fighting on these big stages, so it's really nothing new to me. This week is going to be a great, spectacular show from myself. I'm real well prepared for whatever he brings to the table, and I'm pretty sure they know that as well.
You talk about your preparation. Obviously, with Bomac, who hasn't been calling fights with me lately because he's been in camp with not only you, but Steven and Jamel and Rob and Mo and the whole team and Red Spikes and Saul. How is it just the bond between you guys and working out now with fellow world champs? In sparring, you spar them, they spar. How has that helped to build you and prepare you for this moment?
Nothing really changed with me and Bomac or the team. just iron sharpen iron.
Added some more.
You know, we added some more great fighters to the team, but as well as, you know, we pushing each other each and every day in camp. If I'm tired, Mo would start talking to me. Come on, little guy, you tired? And that just motivate each and every one of us to go that extra mile. Either we running, sparring, hitting the bag. Everything's a competition when we're in the camp.
It seems like a lot of the interviews and lead up to this fight, everybody's asking you about another fight, another fighter, another promoter. But you're here against Egis Kavliauskas. He's your mandatory, and he's not a pushover, and he's undefeated. He's not someone that people should be looking past. Why should people quit thinking about what's ahead and focus on the task at hand right now? Because at the end of the day, this is boxing. Anything can happen.
Well, that's what I tell everybody. I'm not focused on no other opponent besides the opponent that's in front of me. My goal is to make sure I get the victory come this weekend, and that's the only person that I'm focused on right now. Anybody else is just talk. You know, it goes in one ear and out the other. I know he's a great opponent. He's hungry, he's determined, and I'm not taking him lightly by no means.
All right, I'm going to leave you with the last word in terms of, you know, letting everybody know that's watching us on ESPN Plus right now and everyone else that has their phones out and everything. Why should they either get a ticket, because there are still some tickets available, and join us Saturday night, or tune in on ESPN?
Well, everybody should tune in. It's going to be a great night of boxing. You got a lot of great fights this weekend, you know, starting with the rematch of the rematch. You know, this is the third time these guys fighting. You know, so they got a little bad blood going on. Commey and Teofimo, that's a firework fights. You know, Commey might be dancing a little bit if he win again.
They both know how to dance.
Teofimo might be
Like a dance hall.
Yeah, right.
hitting the gainers, flipping all over the place.
Right.
You know, I know that fight is going to be an exciting fight. I know both of them. I watched them. I know it's going to be a spectacular fight, and I'm looking forward to it myself. And you got the main event. You got somebody that's hungry, determined, motivated. Like he said, he's been training for me since June. You know, we've been training as well. We never out of shape. We never out the gym, as you can see. And I'm looking to go in there and seek and destroy. That's why you should come out, get there early, and support the card this weekend.
He's come a long way, huh, Bob? Anything else you'd like to say, boss, before I give the ticket information?
I've had a lot of fighters who end up promoters, right?
That's what I'm saying. This guy down
Oscar
here.
Floyd, he's the next one.
Not yet, though. You don't want you to go
Not
in there.
yet.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. The weigh-ins are going to take place on Friday. They're going to be broadcasted live on ESPN. That's going to happen at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday night, doors will open here at Madison Square Garden at 5:30 p.m. And the first bell will be at 5:45, streaming live on ESPN Plus. Also, Bob, we do have a press conference on Thursday for on Saturday for Select Media to announce our January, February schedule. So you want to invite everyone to come in at 4:30, I believe?
Particularly there'll be an announcement. First,
Don't say it yet, though.
The card, we have 2 fights shows in January, and then February, we have one in China on this fantastic island, Hainan Island, Haikou, great, unbelievable place. Brad Jacobs and I visited it a couple of months ago, and we're making a special price for all press people, which of course doesn't pay for the airfare and for the hotels and the meals, but we have a special price of $400 for the press because we want to get as many press people, media people out there to China as we can. So you'll speak to Evan, and he'll have a further announcement about it on 4:30 on Saturday at the special meeting.
Right, and all the fighters for those fights that we'll be announcing will be in attendance as well for media availability. So again, thank you everybody for joining us here today. Thank you to all the fighters for being here and for your time. For Bob Aram, Top Rank Promotions, I'm Christina Poncher. We'll see you Friday. Thanks.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
informed about it myself.